Right, the first step is downloading the file onto your iPad. So I use AirDrop on my MacBook. I download the file onto my laptop, then I use AirDrop and send it to my iPad, and I'm gonna click Goodnotes. That's what I use. You can decide whatever you want to use. I always just upload it straight into Goodnotes. You'll want to select import as new document. I have this random number on there because I've already downloaded this onto my iPad, but for instructional sake, we're going to do it this way. So import as new document, import to documents. It's going to take a little while just because there are a lot of pages, but here we go. Okay, so here is your planner. Now, if you've never used Goodnotes, I'm going to kind of walk through all of the ways to kind of get it all set up and functional for what you want it to be. So first of all, this is going to be your cover page here. You can flip through. This is the index. All of these are links, and I'll show you guys how to use the links in a bit. Year to glance, dates to remember. You can write on these. Oh, when I write, I increase the size, and then I write with my Apple Pencil. These are goals for each month, financial budget. This is how I do my budget. It works the best for my brain. I'm not sure if you guys have similar brains or not, but I think of the month on two sides. So the first of the month, I put all of the bills here. Second of the month, I put all the bills here. I put the due date so I know when I need to have the funds in what account at what time of the month. My savings goals for each month, my investments for each month, and then anything extra on this side. I also break it down onto expenses for the month and then whatever I have set for my budget here as well. Next one is your January reflection. Beginning of the year reflection, kind of your goals for the year. And then in December, you're going to do the same thing, answer these questions, kind of check in to see how you did on your goals that you set at the beginning of the year. And then we get into the months. So each month has a cover page like this. Then you have your month at a glance. You can write down your month goals here, any important dates that you need to remember on this side. Each month comes with specific goals. I have used a couple different planners. I feel like 3 goals for the month is attainable, it's workable, it's not overwhelming, and it's easier to digest. So that is what I've done here. So you have your goal here, your reason of why. I think it's really important to remember why you're reaching that goal. Action steps. So this is where you're going to put your specific things you need to do that month in order to get this done. And then any notes here. Then each week is broken down at a week of a glance. We have each specific day here. What I do on these ones is I put, if I have a specific appointment, a specific event, birthday, anything like that, put on this week at a glance here. Any specific tasks I need to run this week that I need to remember that I may not put on a specific day. I just have things that I need to do, Amazon returns, Target returns, all that kind of stuff. Priorities this week. This is where if I have any due dates I need to work on this week, I'll put it here. Or any specific calls I need to make, call it medical insurance, like those things, I'll put that there. And then this is also just a quick checklist for cleaning routine for my home. Having something that's small like this, easy to digest, it's easy to do. I feel accomplished when I'm able to mark it off that I did my laundry for the week. Now, not putting it on a specific date also helps me because that leaves room for life. That leaves room for, you know what, today I got my laundry done. I am proud of myself. I got that done. Instead of having to do the whole entire list on one specific cleaning day, this helps me to accomplish what I need to accomplish in my house without feeling like I'm a failure. Also, here's a little quick tip, erase. Now we have our wellness tracker. So this is going to be where you can break down into your grocery list. I take my iPad in with me to the grocery store. So I have my grocery list all broken down for whatever I'm going to need. I write down meal ideas on this side here for 7 days a week. I tend to eat a lot of leftovers, so I just put general ideas here. Also, I feel like if everything is super planned out, it doesn't leave room for being able to be flexible, having life, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's what this planner really is about. It's planning to succeed, but not to fail. So if you plan too much in detail, you're gonna fail, and it's gonna be really hard to keep up with it. And then we have our movement plan. So I don't like to write out specific workouts. I don't like to be rigorous with that. I've had that in my life and I have failed. When life got in the way, I could keep it up for 6 months and all of a sudden something would happen and I would get off track, and it's heartbreaking. So I put a goal. So that might be a rest day. That might be getting to the gym. That might be going to Pilates. That might be taking a bike ride on the beach. It doesn't matter. So I put the goal for that day right here. I also don't call it a workout because sometimes it's just movement. I need to go on a walk to a coffee shop and I'm going to put it right there, and that's going to be my accomplishment. Also, I have an area for self-care. So that can be doing a face mask. That can be, I need to get my nails done. I need to get a pedicure. I need to wash my hair because I haven't done that in a while. I need to whiten my teeth. Things like that are like outside of your normal day-to-day activities. Well, I guess washing hair is, but giving yourself a nice blowout. Things like that take extra time. I put that there as a specific thing to look for. Then sleep goal. How many hours of sleep do I need to get each night? This helps with focusing on getting rid of my insomnia. Step goal. Really, I just like to get above 3,000 steps a day. I'm pretty sedentary just with health and mental health. So I like to put something that's attainable. I feel like 3,000 steps a day, I can get that. And it's amazing how many people actually don't get that. Stretch goal, I try to be on my acupressure mat or stretch a couple days a week, and so I'll put that there. Water intake, I try to get through 2 of my Stanley cups, so that's 80 ounces of water, so I'll put that there. And then I'd like to put a quote or an affirmation in this corner as well to remind myself each week. Then each day is broken down here into 24 hours, so you can put specific times you have appointments, things like that, routines, priorities for the day, tasks lists, and notes. I'll show you guys how I break this all down as well. So each one has 7 of these, and then you go into your week at a glance again and your wellness tracker. Now I'm going to show you how all of the links work. The way that links work is you have to hit this button up here in Goodnotes. This is going to give you the ability to click all the hyperlinks. So click this guy up here, and then everything you see on this page, the tabs are all links. These are all links. Now, sometimes on some of these pages, they don't correlate with that page, so they're not clickable. These are all links. Every single line you see on here is a link, as well as the weeks. We'll go to that page, which is Year at a Glance. Then we'll go to January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Now, each of these are available on every single page. This one up here, the 3 dots, that takes you back to the index. Now, the key on this is that when I'm on February and I'm like, I want to go to something in December, I can click up here. I want to go to the month goals for December. Click on the month goals. It takes me there. Now, if I want to go back to the index and I want to go to the blank note page, I can go to the blank note page. Go back to the index. I want to look at the 2nd week of January. Goes to the 2nd week of January. Now, if I'm on this page, the week at a glance, a lot of these are actually linked. So each one of these correlates with that specific day. So if I want to go to Wednesday, click that, takes me to Wednesday. Now on this page, the daily pages, the only thing that is linked is up here. So for this specific week, I can click the heart. It's going to take me to the wellness tracker. Here, it takes me to the week at a glance. Here, it takes me to that month. So then when you are on a month at a glance, each one of these will correlate with a week. So I want to go to the 3rd week in January. I can click this. It takes me to the week of that. Now, and some people actually do a lot more extensive links than this, but I felt like this was the easiest to manage and to remember. So if I want to go to a specific day, say I want to go to the 27th of January, what I would do is I would click this week here and then click that. 2 clicks, you're at the specific day you want to be able to manage. Now, when you go back to the index, you're going to see this area, which is the notebook pages. How I use a notebook is I will go to, say I want to take a blank notebook page. What I do is I click out of the hyperlink, I go up here, I click copy page, click the hyperlink again, I go to, say I want it in February. This week I am working on, say I'm working on a to-do list or a project on this day, and I want to be able to fast track being able to access my list with that day. Click this here, paste page. Now, my list is right next to my day that I'm working on. It's really easy to manage. Go up here, go back to blank notebook page. It's still in your notepad. So you can use those pages however you want, as many times as you want throughout the whole year for anything specific. Now that we have all of the links done, I'll show you how I manage my day. Okay, so we are in February. It is the 1st. Click here. Let's go to the week. Let's go to, it's not Tuesday. It is Wednesday, the 1st. Okay, so I'm going to actually turn this because it's easier for me to write this way. Hopefully you guys can still follow. So in order to write, you have to be in this editing kind of layout. I have set this up specifically for how I like to write in my planner. Now I have white, I have black, and then I have kind of a gray color as well. Then in my highlighter, I have a green, a gray, and a white. I'll show you how I use all this. Each one has a different size. On the pen, each one has a different thickness. You can adjust the thickness if you want as well by holding down and adjusting it this way. I keep it at a 2. Now, when I'm using a dark mode, which for me, this is just so much better for my brain, and I've realized that not a lot of people actually create digital planners in a dark mode like this. So this is very unique for me. Now, what I do is the night before, I set up my morning routine. So I don't do anything in the early morning hours. Some people do. That's why I left it there. But what I do is I will write morning, and this may seem silly for some people, but this works for me. I will literally write down coffee, journal, emails, make bed, and as you can see, I am a terrible handwriter, but it works for me. Bed, get dressed, pack gym bag, pack laptop bag. So that is typically what I'll do in the morning. Now, I will always write down in here, this is about the time I go to the gym. I'll put gym so I but kind of strategize around that area. Around this time, I usually go to a coffee shop to work, and I'll do something like this just so that it stands out on the page, or I can take my highlighter, it's on the white. I usually do about a mid-size point and do this. So then when I scroll out, it's highlighted there. Now on my morning routine, what I will do is once I'm done with something, which this is just amazing for my brain and my heart. I will do this, hold down the pen as you make the line and makes it straight. Do this and that. Now, one of my favorite reasons of why using a digital planner works so well with me is because sometimes, you know what, I decided that I'm not going to go to a coffee shop. Instead of scribbling it out, I can just erase packing my laptop bag, and it doesn't mess up the rest of my day. And I can go about my day and not feel like I failed because, you know what, I just took it right off my routine. And then I can carry on and do whatever I want. Oh, you know what, didn't go to a coffee shop. I'm just going to erase that so that's cool. Now over here, I'll do the same thing that I did on that list. I'll say work. Let's see here, emails, invoice, edit video, post, reel, and TikTok. You know, just something like that. Sometimes I'll do a check mark box and do laundry, check it off here, but then I also will go to that week and I'll check it off of my list, week at a glance, laundry's done. So that's kind of how I go through all of them. Prior to up here, I actually had to call my medical insurance. So call medical insurance. And then what I'll do is I'll just cross it off. Hold. There we go. Makes it very clean, organized, neat, and tidy. Sometimes I will, if I have to make sure that I really do something and my brain's kind of all over the place, say this is really full, I'll just do a big arrow or something like that, or 2 arrows. You'll get a feel of how you really want to use it and write with it. If I want to go back to the index page, do this, go to index. Now I can click anything that I want. I really want to show you guys how I use my budget tool. Okay, so on this page, which this is one thing that you guys were asking a lot about, how I do it is I'll put my first half income here, whatever I'm expected to make. Second half, I will usually put on this side of the column so that I easily can look at it and say, okay, this is the first half of the month, this is the second half of the month, and then I put the total here. That's just how my brain works. I like having it separate like that. Then on here, we know that rent is due on the 1st. Do the 1st there, and we'll write out the amount. Yes, I live in Southern California. Then I'll put all of my bills there, and I'll put, 2nd, the 8th, 12th, whatever it might be. I like to put the specific date there so that I can know specifically when I need to actually pay it or have the auto pay go out. Now, sometimes if I've done an Affirm Pay or a Klarna, whatever that might be, I will add it kind of down below. All of these are always have these no matter what. Then down here, I'll put Klarna, and I'll put the day that it comes out and the amount. And what I'll do here is I'll kind of put okay, I have, 8 payments for that one. And that's just for me to remember that that's not a year-round payment, whatever it might be. And then once it's paid off, why I love digital is because then I can erase it and I don't have to see it and I don't have to think about it. Down here, what I'll do is for my savings, I'll put my savings goal for the month. So I want to do, 400 in savings. For my investments, I want to be able to put, 300 towards my investments for the month. And anything extra, if I feel that month I might have some flexibility with some things, I can put, $100 extra towards this. Whatever it might be, 1,000, doesn't really matter. But then as I go through my life, say my income increases, I can therefore go back in, go to my savings and say, you know what, my income increased. I want to be able to invest $4,000 into my savings every single month. I can easily erase, be able to add it, and I don't have to freak out that it doesn't look pretty, because it does, because I can erase anything I want. So that's how I use the budget planner. Very simple, straightforward. A lot of this is manual because the way my brain works is I have to physically write stuff in order for it to sink into my brain. Neurospiciness, gotta love it. I've worked on how to work with it, and this is what works for me. That is the Darkmode planner. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you guys do have any questions, please reach out to me and ask me, and I'd be more than happy to kind of walk through everything with you guys. And I hope this is helpful.